November 3rd is Election Day. Here are some of the words that we will be hearing a lot about this week and next week and even after the election happens. And we heard many of those in our story today. November 3rd is Election Day. So November will be talked about a lot because November begins very soon, right after October ends. November will start, and the third day of November will be the election. So November is a vocabulary word we'll hear a lot about.
November.
And the places where people go to vote are called polling places. You might be hearing a lot about polling places in the next days and even in the days after the election takes place. Sometimes people have to wait a long time to vote, and sometimes they get upset.
Polling place.
Another vocabulary word that we were hearing is vote. That's when you make a choice of which leader you want to be in charge of the government job.
Vote.
When you vote, you choose the person you think would be the best person to do the job.
Choose.
Leaders are the boss, and they are responsible for doing important things. So when we vote for people, we're voting for who we want to be our leaders.
Leader.
And the government is made up of the people who do things for people and try to solve problems for people. And they have different plans, and we try to choose the best leaders to do the best job for the government.
Government.
And when you vote, you look at the different choices of people and you pick your favorite person to vote for out of the choices that you have on the ballot.
Favorite.
And people who vote to make the choices are called voters. You need to be 18 years old to vote. So young students have to wait till they're a little bit older, till they're at the end of high school to be old enough to be a voter.
Voter.
Many of your brothers and sisters or parents or cousins or uncles or grandparents are old enough to vote. They might be voting in this election too. And so our story was about the day we are going to vote, and it's called Election Day.
Election day.
And Election Day is November 3rd. You can barely see the numbers here, but this is the month of November, and 1, 2, 3. Day number 3 is Election Day for us. Coming up very soon. So let's read the questions about our story about the election and see if we remember the answer to them, because we tried to guess what the right answers might be even before we read the story. And now that we've read the story about Election Day coming up, we might be able to remember the answers this time. So number 1, what is the paper about? It's called Election Day. So let's see if there's any answers that sound like that. One of the answers is very endangered animals. Another choice is 2020 Election Day. And another answer choice is Huge Pumpkins Festival. So what is the paper about that we read? The paper is about
2020 Election Day.
and who chooses U.S. government leaders on Election Day? Kids, elves, or voters? You vote on Election Day, so voters sounds like the right answer.
Voters.
Where is Election Day on November 3rd, 2020? Which country is having an election on November 3rd? Is Denmark having an election? Or is Kenya having an election? Or is the United States, the U.S., having an election?
U.S.
The election is in the U.S., in the United States. Number 4. Where do voters usually vote? In restaurants, polling places, or movie theaters? Well, we could look at the answers and try to find out which ones are not the right answer. Do you vote in restaurants, or do you go to eat food in restaurants? You eat food in restaurants. You don't vote there. And how about movie theaters? Do you go to a movie theater to vote for the president? Or do you go to a movie theater to watch a movie? You watch a movie in a movie theater. So the right answer would be a different one, not this one, restaurants, and not theaters. Where do voters usually vote? They vote at
Polling places.
polling places. That's where people go to vote usually. But you could also send your paper ballot in through the mail. Question number 5. What are Donald Trump and Joe Biden? Are they astronauts? Are they famous soccer players? What are they? We've been hearing Biden and Trump. We've been hearing those names a lot. So what are these people? What are they known for? Are they students? Does Biden go to our school? Does Trump go to our school? No, they're not students. How about judges? Do they decide things in court? Is that how we know about Biden and Trump? We heard about another judge named Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but she was not one of the people that we were hearing about when they were talking about Biden and Trump and Ginsburg. So I don't think Trump and Biden are judges. So that leaves one more answer choice. Candidates or candidates. Are they people that we can vote for? What are Joe Biden and Donald Trump? What are they? Are they candidates or candidates?
Candidates.
They're candidates. So they are people that we can vote for to be our leader. And the last comprehension question about our story or our news article is, when will U.S. voters vote? And we're voting for our next president and some other leaders, so this could be a tricky question because we're voting to see who will become the next president. So will we vote on President's Day? That sounds like it could be a right answer because we'll vote for who we want to be president. Will we vote on Labor Day? No, that's a day that we don't have to go outside to do anything. We get a day of rest from work, so it's not Labor Day, but it could be President's Day or Election Day. When will U.S. voters vote? Are we going to vote for the next president on President's Day? Let's see.
President's Day.
No, that was a trick. We will vote on Election Day. And we can vote for our next president on Election Day, even though they tried to trick us with a confusing answer. When will U.S. voters vote?
6. When will U.S. voters vote?
They will vote on
Election Day.
Election Day.